And 22.
22. Chew for 22. Players and umpires not quite ready to come out just yet.
Welcome to GCP Bytes, episode number 22 for Friday, the 1st of August, 2025. GCP Bytes is a podcast where we discuss Google Cloud and tech, and I'm your host, Stephen Bancroft. On today's show, we take a look at the Google Q2 results. Europe versus VMware, what's going on? Gmail has a new feature, you may have already seen it. Plus, Certs will get more powerful. Find out in the AI wars. But before we get to any of that, I'd like to introduce the co-host of the show, Dave Wall. How are you, Dave?
You know what, mate? I am feeling fantastic. Compared to last fortnight's podcast, I am ready to go.
Right. Well, I got a bit of a headache this morning, so yeah, I'm probably feeling like you were. And our very own GDE, Ian Brown. How are you, Ian?
I'm good, Baggy. How you doing?
Good, mate. Good. Yeah, just woke up with a bit of a thumper this morning and just had some Panadol earlier, and it's clearing up now.
I woke up with a little niggly headache this morning and smashed a couple of Panadol, and I'm good now.
Yeah.
Fine now, but earlier.
No, we just, like, down here in Melbourne, the flu has ran through, like, everyone in our long, drawn-out winter. So, it's not been a good time, but much better now.
Winter was at least a month ago. Surely.
So what's everyone been up to in the fortnight?
Well, learning that VO3 is now GA.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so got an email
Has
the
anyone
other day
played,
from...
anyone played with it yet? You played with it yet? No?
Well,
That costs money, yeah.
I think Dave might have played with it. But I got an email from the GDE coordinators just letting us know that VO3 is now GA on Vertex AI and VO3 Fast is now GA on Vertex AI.
And in Gemini.
Yep. And image to video capabilities will be coming to public preview very shortly.
Yeah, so I've got in my Gemini right now, I can use VO3 Fast and I can upload an image and create a video from it. So,
nice.
That's just in my business account.
Yeah, nice.
So.
And, dude, Pixel 10's coming out.
Pixel 10, August 21.
Yep. August 21. And whilst it doesn't look like a massive change from the Pixel 9, there are changes to it. It's still got that sort of squarish sides that the Pixel 9's got. It looks like they might have rejigged the camera array a little bit. Yeah, it looks a little bit different from mine.
My partner will be upgrading her phone to a 10. We're kind of like off cycle, so she will do a 10, and then mine will be due by this time next year. So I guess it's 11 for me.
I think I'm going to get the Pixel 10 Pro Fold.
Yeah, you're going for the fold. You want the big slab of a thing.
So
$3,000 phone.
Yeah, so I've been against it for so long, and then I was talking to JK, friend of the podcast, a little while ago because he's got the 9 Pro Fold, and he absolutely loves it. He goes out and he walks the dog and stuff, and he can be out there working on his phone, just open it up, and it sort of acts like a tablet almost. So, I've got to give it a crack. Worst case scenario, it's 12 months of pain and I hate it and I'll go back to using a normal phone.
It's just for me, it's a lot of money for a phone.
There's that. And I'm just worried about the mechanics of it, right? Any moving part like that, I mean, it's got to be prone to failure, right?
Yeah, 100%. So, and that was one of the questions I asked was like, how does a screen go if you're opening and closing that thing a million times a day? And JK said to me, you're not, because it's got a screen on the face of it as well. Right. So you're using that as the normal phone, and then when you want to open it up and do things, you open it up and do the things that you want to do, and then you close it back up again.
Right.
My issue is, we go out west again and we get into, bull dust country. and you get a whole heap of that gritty bull dust in the screen.
Yeah, right.
And
In
all of
the,
a sudden,
right
your
in
screen
the join.
becomes your screen becomes partially matte.
Yes, that's right. Get that old sandpaper effect there.
Yeah, I can see that being a bit unpleasant. It's kind of like the equivalent of how many times have you ever seen like people who have broken their laptops because they had like a pen on the laptop and they put the monitor down?
Yep.
Yep. That's
I did see the one where someone put a tablet in a freezer because it was too hot.
I mean,
Popped up. It was a Windows tablet, and it popped up a message to say that the tablet's too hot. You need to cool it down. So they decided that it was a good idea to put it in the freezer.
Sure.
And then
They forgot about
complained
it?
to me because it didn't work ever again.
The battery chemistry was like, yum, yum, yum.
I did find out the other day if you've got and I successfully did this, if you've got a seized chuck on a drill, you put it in the freezer and it unseized. It's very, very handy. Yeah.
So you can heat it up as well. But heating it up on a chuck is bad because it
Well, that expands
untempers
everything.
the timber.
Putting it in the freezer shrinks everything, so it unseizes it. Yeah.
Yep.
And speaking of that, I did need to use my drill to put my new outside TV up, which is connected to my new Google streamer.
Nice.
Google TV stream I picked up there at Office Jerks, $140.
Office Jerks, I love
that. Look, mate, just put it on, no problems. It was great. It's a great experience. Set it up, very easy to set up. Use the Home app to do it. And the panel on this old Samsung TV is actually really good, but obviously some of the apps, you can't install some of the apps and stuff now because I think the TLS version is not supported on there. But that didn't matter with the streamer. It's...
So does the remote control on the streamer also control the telly?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
It does because you've got the CEC pass through of a HDMI.
Exactly,
HDCP or something.
So you can push the button on the streamer and it'll turn the telly on, and then you can go from there. But then to turn the telly off, you need the remote control to turn it off.
Oh no, mine doesn't.
Okay.
Well, I haven't tried, but
So I know the one in the caravan that we've
the-
got. We've just got a dumb TV in the caravan, and we've just got a Google Chromecast in there, and like one of the new ones. And we can turn. We don't need the remote control for the telly anymore. I've just taken the batteries out of it and stuck it to the wall. I just use the Chromecast remote, and it turns the TV on and off.
Yeah.
okay.
So
Well, I'm sure it will. Then I'll have to give that a go.
yeah, we have a cheap and cheerful Android TV in the kitchen, but because it is cheap and cheerful, the Android UI is very slow. So we've used the streamer just because it's faster, right? It's much more pleasant to use.
Yeah, right.
And same thing. We can use the same control. The only issue is that we swapped the streamer in there, replacing an Apple TV, and unfortunately, the controller is nowhere near as nice as the Apple TV ones. Like the Apple TV one is it's small, it's metal, it's USB-C chargeable, and then when I went to the Google one, obviously I'm all in the Google ecosystem. I'm happy to use it, but it's like, this kind of feels a bit poo. The plastic controller is pretty jank.
But
That's no good.
it's Apple. You're probably paying an extra arm and a leg for that one.
No, I was like 2 extra arms. It's like 3 times the cost of
I
the
was gonna
streamer.
say,
exactly.
You've got to sell your first child.
Yeah.
But going back to back, it was disappointing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even going to go there.
But you were busy, mate, on your cert, your
I did
3
another
yearly cert renewal cycle.
I did do another cert on Friday. I set the DevOps cert and I passed. After complaining that I was sorely underprepared, I still felt underprepared when I went to the exam. But it's like just threw my hands in there and went, you know what? I'm just gonna.
Did your error budgets?
What will be.
Well, no. Look, the whole things like error budgets and DevOps culture, like they really downplayed that in this this certification.
Right, was it more tools based than cultural?
There was quite a few tools questions, yes. Needing to know things around, Jenkins came up a couple of times, Spinnaker a couple of times. process. It was kind of more process. You need to know when you use your canary deployments over your blue-green deployments and that kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Okay.
A lot of crossover actually with the security certification as well, because that principle of least privilege came up quite a number of times. And you just had to be, just had to be on the lookout to identify that's what they were trying to get at in the question. It had the obvious ones as well, where it gave you a bunch of bunkum answers, and one of them was use artifact registry, and you go, well, that's got to be the right answer, that kind of thing. But no, I thought it was a fairly straightforward and fair exam. How much study do you need to do? See, the thing for me, I had exhausted all the DevOps study material in Cloud Skills Boost. I'd gone through all of it. But there is in Cloud Skills Boost, there, if you've got to dig for it because it's not in any of the pathways, there is a DevOps Test Your Knowledge course. And it's 5 chapters, and each chapter contains sort of 10 to 20 questions. So I went through all of those, and I scored sort of 80 to 90% on the first run through in each of those. And then I just kept that as I went back and read through that probably 2 or 3 times. And I did the study question, the sample questions they give you. I did that once and then read back through that again 2 or 3 times. And that was really the bulk of my preparation for that exam. Because I would go into Cloud Skills Boost and go, I've done that. And there was not much more I could do in there. So, nice. If you want to prepare, that's probably all you need to do is those questionnaires and you're good to go. And
what's next for you? What's on the next one?
It'll be the developer cert.
Smash it.
Smash that one, yeah. I have not had the rev up email for that. I can't remember when that expires. I think it's probably September or something like that.
They're in the easiest one by far.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Well, unless they've cranked it.
I don't know. The Cloud Architect one, I tend to breeze through.
Well, that's good because I hate the scenario stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
Neither of you have done the network professional exam.
No, we haven't.
Just hold your horses. Go and do that one.
Yeah, I can guarantee you I will not be doing that one.
Oh no, I'm definitely going to do that one.
And then you will know the true meaning of pain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take a half day because I'm going to have to go down to Brisbane to sit the exam.
Yeah.
Because they won't let me do it at home here on a Linux machine.
No.
It's like you've got to have an Apple or a Winblow's computer.
Yep. And Dave, you showed us a bit of new gear that you got during the week.
Yeah. So I had my my new AU Star WTR Max NAS turned up.
The name says it all.
The name is just as epic as the device.
Yeah. But it's a nice little NAS. It doesn't come with any OS out of the box, but it supports 6 full-size hard drives plus 5 NVMe SSDs. Wow. Has 2 2.5 gig NICs on it plus 2 10 gig SFP slots.
Wow.
So interface-wise, huge. Yep. It's AMD 8845 CPU in there, so it's 16 cores, 8 plus hyperthreading. Supports ECC memory, like 128 gig worth. Now I haven't really got that much in mine, but so I got it up and running. I've switched to using Unraid for the first time. Having used TrueNAS in the past and a few other different open source NAS softwares, I kind of wanted something a little bit more turnkey and GUI friendly. This was replacing a QNAP, QTS operating system device, and so I kind of wanted something a little bit more like that this time around. Whereas TrueNAS scale it's got a bit of a learning curve. Some stuff in there is not quite as friendly as you'd like it to be. So, so paid for the Unraid license and, off to the races. It's been great.
Nice.
That's mine. So I've been migrating all my data across and my various application stacks. Working really well. Loving it.
Happy with that.
I've
got to get myself a NAS. I'm just trying to figure out which one to get because, I won't get a Synology because I'm not going to be bound by
their hard drive thing.
You must buy our hard drives, our rebranded Western Digital drives. I won't be bound by that. So I need to figure out what I'm going to get so that I can actually get our Plex server up and running properly. At the moment, it's running on some pretty small disk.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is so many of the NAS companies, QNAP and Synology, like you are paying a premium for the hardware. And so I kind of I still wanted a similar feel with the hardware. Like I've rolled my own NASs before, like I've built them in 4U chassis and things. I didn't want that. I wanted something that has, just easy accessible drive bays on the front. I wanted that kind of experience. And this sort of ticked the boxes for me. I was going to get the Minis Forum one, but when the pricing came out for it, it's like, oh, that's a bit more than I kind of wanted for it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll chuck a link in the show notes to that device because it looks pretty fine. I tell you what.
Yeah. And speaking of being connected, the Soul cable.
Oh yeah,
you might need a bit bigger than a 10 gig SFP for that one.
This one might need about 1,000 10 gig SFPs. It's a pretty big cable. The new Soul transatlantic cable that goes from the Palm Coast, Florida, will anchor the Soul cable in the US, and it'll hit Bermuda and the Azores, and then drop into Spain. So they don't. There's no specs in this article on how big this cable is, like how many terabits per second it's going to carry, or anything like that, or when it's actually going to come online. But all we know at the moment is it's going to go from Palm Coast, Florida, and it will. So there'll be a terrestrial link routing to the South Carolina cloud region, and it's going to land in Spain, and further integrating their Google Cloud's region in Madrid.
Yeah, it's nice. The only bugbear I have with this article on the Google blog is what genius decided that land should be blue and the ocean should be white. Because my brain, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't look like a land mass.
I did exactly the same thing as you. I was looking at this going, what the?
Water is blue, people.
Yeah. Yeah, Google, get your map colour schemes right. Yeah. Ocean is blue, mate.
There'll be a link in the show notes to that. Have a look at that picture. But that's good. That gives them some diversity, right? Because they only had the one link there up to now, and it gives them the two. And it quite cleverly, they've got them spaced at a nice distance as well, not following the same path because, it only takes one
anchor.
One anchor or a drag net to destroy the whole thing.
One Chinese ship with a big hook on it.
That's it. Cool. And
speaking about crap things.
That's good.
Look, we had to talk about this one. Microsoft to buy a pile of shit, basically.
We're not talking about Skype.
No.
They just dumped a pile and they're buying another pile.
LinkedIn.
Microsoft buys more than $1 billion worth of excrement, including human poop, to clean up its AI mess.
Oh, dear. I'm just trying to work out how buying $1 billion worth of excrement
so it's all
going
about
to actually offset their AI thing.
Okay, so because the premise is if we have all of this waste, like animal waste, human waste, and it's sitting on the surface, it's going to decay down into CO2 and methane. Right, so you're going to get that coming off. So what they're doing is they've got their shit, they're liquefying it, gross, by the way, gross. And then they're pumping it down like old mines and shafts and all sorts of just big holes in the ground and sealing it in. That's just taking a dump into the earth.
I always knew Microsoft was crap, but I didn't realise it was this literate.
Yeah. So that's the go. So it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll got the shit, bury it in the ground, seal it off, and then it won't outgas into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's just way too many shit jokes in this.
So it's
I can't help
4.9
myself.
million metric tons of waste over 12 years. Quite significant. And the CO2 removal is $350 per tonne. And if you multiply that out, they haven't released the details of the deal, but if you multiply that out, it's about $1.7 billion as a guess for what the deal was.
Vaulted deep.
Boy,
Shit storage company.
Vaulted
Yeah,
deep,
nah. Moving on.
Hey, you know what?
moving
Like,
on.
good for them, right? Good, like nice little niche of a company.
Yeah.
Jeez,
right.
if I'd known that my excrement was worth that much, I probably would have got a business started earlier.
I don't know if anyone wants to buy a cubic meter of your shit, mate.
Anyway,
Lay off the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
the hot sauce.
Oh, dear.
Cloud Summit was on. Yesterday.
Yeah, Cloud Summit was on
on
yesterday. So whole heap of GDEs got to go down to Sydney yesterday and to help run a whole heap of workshops down there, which is fantastic. JK sent me some photos throughout the day, and it looked like it was an absolutely magical event. But there's a whole heap of talks on everything, literally everything, from infrastructure through to AI, through to workspace, and anything in between. Now, I'm just trying to find if you can watch these
Talks post hoc.
talks after the fact. I don't know whether you can or not, but if you can, it'll be on the Cloud Summit page.
Yeah, so if you have a look for that and send it through to me. I will put a link to the Cloud Summit page, but I'm just there now having a look and I can't see it. But if I find it, I'll put it in the show notes.
I can only see the keynote right down the bottom.
Yeah, all right, cool. Well, that was, I'm sure we're going to hear more about that, and because it was only yesterday, and today hasn't really started because we're quite early on Thursday morning here. So yeah, we'll let you know. But speaking of community and all things community, let's get on with the community news. All right, and you've thrown two in here. What are these all about?
Yeah, so GDG Sydney has their August meetup. Again, as always, it's at Mantle Group at 580 George Street. It's on the 6th of August at 5:30 p.m. Jump onto the link and RSVP. This time they've got a couple of speakers here. One of them is a senior backend engineer, is talking about why he uses Go from the lens of a polyglot developer. Yes, I had to practice saying that word a few times this morning because
Polyglot.
whoever came up with it needs to be shot.
Polyglot.
Multiple languages.
And then and Christine Zhang, who I believe is actually a Mantle Group consultant, is she not? Anyway.
Yeah.
Go check the internal Slack.
Yeah. She's going to be talking about managing projects to engineering data, tech experience as a woman.
Right.
So that's Cloud Sydney. And then there's a group event that's actually being run by GDG Cloud Sydney, but it's co-hosted by every different chapter across the country, which is the Australian-New Zealand Gen AI Academy. So this is the 31st of August, so in a month's time. So plenty of notice to get in and get your tickets now because it will sell out quicker than you can blink. And it's all about enhancing your skills in generative AI. There's cloud credits supplied and exclusive merch supplied. Get in and register for it and get yourself on the bandwagon. And there's Google Cloud sunglasses. I have not had a pair of them yet.
The
You know
AI
I'm going to be asking Matt
bandwagon.
for them.
Get on the AI bandwagon.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, a couple of community news items there. Go check those out. Let's get on with the news items. And first news this week is Google Q2 results. Now, I didn't get a chance to dive into these numbers here, but what have we got?
Everything is up. Everything is up.
It's all up. It's all up. So I did have a good read of this morning. So that the long and short of it is that the Alphabet quarterly performance is up. So revenue reached $96.43 billion. More billions are better, aren't they, Dave?
Yeah, great.
And that's up 14% from $84.74 billion a year ago. And their net income grew at an even faster pace, increasing 19% year over year to $28.2 billion, which is phenomenal results. And on the Google front, Google Cloud is the most impressive growth.
Yeah.
The fastest growing.
The
I think we know
standout
this.
performer in Q2. So its revenue surged 32% year over year to $13.62 billion.
Yeah, but look at that profit margin.
Oh, the operating income more than doubling to $2.83 billion from $1.17, and an operating margin up of 20.7%, up from 11.3.
Yeah, so huge growth there.
Yeah. And an operating margin that is far and above any other cloud provider out there.
And considering the sheer scale of what they're spending on capital expenditure in new DCs and tend to fill them, the fact that their profitability continues to climb, even with that outgoing. I mean, I saw the Register did the numbers on it, and they spent, as in Google, not the Register, Google spent $14 billion on infrastructure in 91 days.
Yep. And it's planning on even higher spending.
They're basically siphoning, bleeding money out of one side, but like there's more money coming in the other side. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. And you've got to think of the chip manufacturers that are out there are getting orders of the equivalent of $14 billion worth of orders from Google going, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of money.
I need them now.
Because the GCVE kit, like I know that Melbourne's getting kitted out right now for GCVE, the Melbourne region. That's all Dell kit. The new nodes will be Google tin. It won't be Dell tin. It'll be certified Google gear. So that's all ramping up.
Are the other hyperscalers doing that with their VMware?
Well, AWS
Microsoft
did it right from the get-go. They did VMware on their
own
kit.
tin, right?
But the issue that their kit has is it's single NIC, single disk.
Right.
Whereas Google's kit is not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, AWS is, because the whole VMware cloud, it wasn't VMware on AWS, it was VMware cloud. It was the thing. It happened to run on it, but they were framed as like, this is the official deployment methodology, and the integrations and stuff were great. I remember working with a former company that I worked for that did a deployment on it, and the integrations back were pretty sick. They'd done a lot of that vertical, they'd done all the plumbing, but now they've moved away from that. So
yeah, well, the issue with the kit on AWS's the AWS version was that you had to get custom plugins. So if you ran like a Commvault plugin in VMware, you had to get the custom one for AWS because it
for
wouldn't
VMC,
work.
yeah.
The standard one wouldn't work on AWS's gear.
Right.
So yeah,
and that's exactly what Google's trying to avoid. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So Google's got stock standard x86 kit that is just absolutely massive.
A one-for-one swap over. Yeah.
Yep. But so revenue through the roof. Their spending is through the roof. Like I can't even fathom trying to buy $14 billion worth of kit in 90 days. That's insane. That just trying to picture what $14 billion worth of kit looks like.
It's a lot of steel.
No. How many swimming pools is it?
I don't know.
I can only work it out in football fields.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a few truckloads of cash.
I'm sure Microsoft can pump it down a well.
Yeah. They'll liquefy it.
Yeah, and this article does say, they spent $14 billion, but they plan to spend even higher.
Yep.
Soon. So look out.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I feel we're in the right cloud at the moment with looking at that and looking at spending, and we need engineers, right?
Hey, mate, has there ever been any doubt? You know, we've been working in the Google space for a long time now, and it's always been the right cloud to be in.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
So this is the thing. So because I've used all three, begrudgingly, and that's not because I'm a Google fanboy or anything like that. It's just because I've used all three. I've used AWS in anger. I used Microsoft for about 18 months, and I hated every second of it because it's so back to front. And I'm sure that there's Microsoft cloud engineers out there, like Azure engineers out there, that are like, no, it's Google that's back to front. Well, it's not really. But I've been using Google since they came to Australia. So Google Workspace, or back then it was Google Google Apps for Business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like before G Suite
before,
was the thing. It was like old school. And then when Google Cloud first landed in Australia, the company I was working for was one of the first ones to put actual production infrastructure into it. So, you know, I suppose I'm a bit tainted in that this is what I've been using since the get-go. And even back then, Google, we had App Engine, and App Engine was a bit like, oh, what the hell is this? But it felt like the right place to be then. We could get things done. The documentation was good. Things just worked. And that hasn't changed. It's just got a hell of a lot bigger.
They keep acquiring other companies and adding stuff to it.
Yeah. Mandiant. Not Wiz, but Mandiant.
And speaking of all things Google Cloud, GKE turns 10. Something you're familiar with.
Yeah. GKE has turned 10. And this article is a bit of a highlights reel on the evolution of not the evolution of GKE, but success stories in GKE. So one of the earliest GKE customers, speaking, not my gig today. One of the earliest GKE customers was Signify, which is a lighting for professionals and the company behind Philips Hue. So 10 years on, they're still on GKE. They've grown from 200 million to 3.5 billion daily transactions running through GKE. But far and above the best story I read in this article was Pokemon Go. Now, I didn't know that Pokemon Go was on GKE. I assumed that they were on some sort of container service because there was no way you could support that sort of a game on
a monolith.
On a monolith running on a VM.
And the explosion of it overnight as well, right? It had to be,
So there's a graph in this article that shows what their original launch target was, what their estimated worst case was,
which was 5 times higher,
and the actual traffic they got, which was 50 times their worst case.
Yeah, it's quite staggering. There's a video floating around on YouTube talking about how they did it as well and what happened behind the scenes to make it happen.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. But have a quick read of the article. It's a fairly short article. It doesn't take a couple of minutes to read, but it just sort of highlights the growth that you can get out of GKE.
As long as you want the credit card to fund the auto scaling.
Not my credit card. I will not put my credit card down.
And if you're doing any of the aforementioned certifications, you do need to know a little bit about GKE.
Oh, you need to know so much. Like it features into so many of the Google certs.
Yeah. GKE, any sort of container service or function, cloud function, is the core of of Google Certs these days.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, speaking of quite the opposite of container services, and I had to read your comment here several times to make sure I got this correct. Europe trying to annul the VMware merger.
Yeah. So what's happened is the Cloud Infrastructure Service Providers in Europe, or the CISPE, so it's not an EU organisation. Sorry,
CISPE.
It's CISPE, or crispy. Let me throw a little R in there. Right. So it's like an industry body, has filed a formal appeal before the European General Court seeking an annulment of the European Commission's approval of the deal, which is the VMware Broadcom deal.
Yeah.
Right. So
might be a bit late for that though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it closed nearly 2 years ago. Right.
I did like this bit. It closed 2 years ago after regulators globally forced the company to delay the closing date thrice.
Thrice. Yes.
Thrice.
Yeah. So what the CISPE is saying is that they had consistently raised alarms. However, the European Commission hadn't imposed any conditions on Broadcom to prevent, like, basically what's been happening with VMware. Right. And so, yeah, now they're trying to get them to pull back their authorization. But I mean, I don't know what. What do they hope would come from this? Now it's 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I do love it. They say here, the Secretary General of CRISPY or CISPY or however you want to say it, VMware's dominance of the software in the virtualization market means that unfair new licensing terms enforced by Broadcom affect almost every European organisation using cloud technology. And a spokesperson for VMware or Broadcom strongly disagrees with these allegations.
Yeah, probably because of
the catch cry of everyone. We strongly disagree with this.
No, Broadcom is just like, well, yeah, but we don't want those customers.
Yeah, exactly.
We want like 5 customers. We want 5 customers that pay us $1 trillion each. Yeah. That's what we want.
We want Google Cloud. We want Microsoft. We want Oracle Cloud. We want Alibaba Cloud. And
maybe a couple of governments.
And that's it.
Everyone else can deal with a small fry. That's it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice try, but you're right. And how would that work in practice? Even if it was annulled successfully, how do you unpick that now? How do you unscramble that egg now?
I don't think you can.
No.
The merger's done. It's been done for over a year.
Yep.
Broadcom have got their claws into it. They have refactored everything known to mankind in this company. There is no pulling it apart now.
Yep. Well, yeah. I guess that's our fortnightly dose of VMware. Oh, hang on.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
We've got more.
But what? There's more.
We have, well, we have to talk about VMware, you know. I mean, we have to. And what do we got here? We've got defending your VMware vSphere estate from UNC3944. Now, I took one look at this article and I'd been dealing with Terraform problems all day, and I just didn't have the headspace.
For it. Well, I did. It got me on my phone. It came up, and I was like, this is quite in depth. Now, this is an article that came out a week ago. Now, this is for people listening that are running VMware estates. This is a big deal, right? So this is a report from Mandiant, part of the Google Threat Intelligence Group, where they have done an analysis of a few different incidents which you may have seen coming up in the media. There's a couple of different organizations. We've got as hacking organizations. We've got Octopus, Octotempest, or Scattered Spider. Now, I've been seeing the Scattered Spider one popping up a bunch. But the kind of overarching group appears to be called UNC3944. Now, this is a very, very, very detailed article, right? And it takes you through the entire attack chain that they are using to go after your VMware estates. There is in-depth detail on the logs that you can be monitoring, the way you can harden your environment. it's really quite fascinating. I'll sort of break down the cliff notes because it's a long article, right? And we will share it in the notes. So their playbook. So the first thing that they do is they go for a social engineering attack on your help desk. They try and get any user's credentials because they'll get usernames from LinkedIn or just any other leaked creds that are out there. So they're going after your help desk. They get that to reset one user's creds. After that, you've got a user who might just be somebody who works in your HR department or anything, and they use that to start trawling through your environment, looking for knowledge-based articles or perhaps looking for old password repositories, anything they can kind of do to start piecing out what does your IT infrastructure admin team look like. And they go, okay, we find Bob, senior systems engineer, right? And they'll start digging into work out active directory groups that would likely be admin creds. So ESX admins, vCenter administrators, that sort of thing. So now we know, okay, Bob's the account that we want to go after. They'll then go back to your help desk and they've got a lot more information about Bob. They know a lot more about the environment. So they will social engineer your help desk to reset Bob's creds. And from that, they're off to the races.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their initial part. And one of the main things that's called out here from a hardening perspective is cordoning off certain like people who have very high privileged access, and making it so that you shouldn't be able to reset those passwords off a phone call. Right, make it so okay. If Bob locks himself out of his admin account, you have to see him. Right, you have to actually see him in person. Right? Yeah, it might slow him down a little bit, but you can't just have a tier 1 help desk person being able to reset that account.
Right.
So it's a simple one. Right. There's a lot more other things that are in here that it takes you through, but that's kind of like a high level.
Right.
And I've worked in organizations where people who had additional tiers of access, as you got closer to the crown jewels, there were less and less people who could reset those accounts. It just system-wise wouldn't let them. So once we've got Bob's account, then we go to vCenter, right? Because I've now got the keys to the kingdom. They jump into vCenter and change, they reboot it and drop in a teleport binary onto the vCenter appliance. So they then have an end-to-end tunnel that they can get into. From there, they can start to ship down into the ESX level. So then you're on your ESX host. They can start to deploy their malware. The big part around this is because it's very rare that it's almost impossible to install endpoint detection software onto ESX hosts, right? It's not on your vCenter appliances. You don't have any of your threat detection tooling on there. And that's sort of what they're doing is they're completely bypassing the attacks that would come from, say, getting a user workstation where you have that EDR tooling on there. You don't have any of that in your estate, right? And yes, they're going after VMware, but this is a similar attack that you could do against Hyper-V or any other hypervisors. They just generally don't have those tools installed on them.
You're on that level lower than where the tooling is, yeah.
Yeah, you are. And after that point, they can start doing things like doing disk swaps. They can modify a hard drive to load their payloads into it, and then they swap that onto another VM. They will do things like, and it calls it out in here explicitly as a threat vector, is they will bring up, shut down old VMs. Now, think about your environment. All your machines that are on now are probably being scanned with Qualys and other tooling to make sure that they're patched. But how many old VMs are it's been shut down because it's been decommissioned and then you never got around to it. It's been sitting offline for 6 years. And that's an unpatched box. Yes, it's off, but if someone switches it on, you can do a lot.
It's now a huge risk.
Yeah. So it calls out a few things around that. From this point, so it's like, okay, I've breached your vCenter, I've breached your ESX host, I can do anything that I want to your VMs themselves. Then from there, they start using, they start going after your backup environment. And again, if you've got your backups also Active Directory integrated, which is not good practice anymore for this reason, because someone who's got, so this Bob account is able to get your primary data on the ESX host and your secondary data in your backups.
Yep.
Right. So they go after that. They start taking out your backup infrastructure, and then they deploy the crypto locker. Right.
The ransom.
Yeah.
And from there, it's all over Red Rover.
And unlike certain other, a normal breach often has a dwell time, and it can be weeks. Like, they might be in your environment for ages. This group, this is hours. So from having Bob's account, so right after that help desk guy reset Bob's account, 5 hours later, this is the situation you're in.
Wowzers.
Right.
Right. And this has been happening. How many times has this happened? Is it happening a lot, or has it just been a handful of incidents?
Yeah, so there's been a couple of detected instances already in the last couple of weeks. But now that the playbook's out there, so yes, it's UNC 3944's playbook.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of off to the races.
Yeah.
So there's the three as you get towards the end of the article, it's got the 3-pillar defense. You've got your fortified strategy. Pillar 1, proactive hardening, right? And the number one point that's called out is do not join your ESX hosts directly to AD. Right? It's a massive way to reduce the attack surface. They should have their own credentials to be able to administrate, and obviously you need to be protecting those creds, and you need to be monitoring when people log in with those creds. Right? That's a big one. There's a bunch of things like enabling vSphere lockdown mode, which stops SSH being enabled onto the vCenters. You can enforce exec installed only on the ESXi kernel. So the only things that can run are things that are in the ESX VIB.
Yep.
And that'll stop a bunch of the malware tooling. There's a good, what do we got? Maybe 25 different things that you can target around hardening your environment, breaking the attack chain. So yes, they're trying to get to Bob's account, but we can't get to his privileged account because there's MFA on every step, and that hasn't been reset yet. There's a few things there. And then also, how do you build your safety net around detecting all of these events? The really brilliant thing is every step in this article that takes you through the breach, they show you where it appears in the logs, how they were able to detect it, and what you can alert on.
Yeah, right.
This is real gold standard article.
Yeah, and I think the big call out that I see here is enforce phishing resistant MFA everywhere. And honestly, you should be doing that for everyone anyway. Like, every user account is a potential ingress for a threat actor.
Yep. I mean, they call out explicitly that even if you are going to use an IDP, that you may want to consider having a completely separate one for your infrastructure.
Yeah. We see this with financial institutions all the time. They have separate AD domains for their privileged access versus their standard user access. And you've got separate accounts for your privileged access. And that should be the way it is. And further, that, like, if you're a backup admin, you generally don't have access to vSphere. And vSphere admins don't have access to the backups for that very reason. Yep. I think this is more, if you're a smaller business and your vSphere admin is also your backup admin.
Well, problem is, Ian, is that you get enterprises where I used to be a system engineer and now I've become the backup engineer.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? And I still have all my privileges, right? And it's like, oh, well, we won't get rid of Bob's access because, it's very helpful. Sometimes he can help out in the team because, no one's flush with resources. So, in an ideal world, you split these people out and you never let them cross. Yeah. However.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to be the senior infrastructure engineer at a company, and I had the keys to the kingdom for everything.
Yeah.
And that was a company that, contrary to much of my bleating about it, never ever enforced separate accounts for admins because it was all too difficult. So,
Yeah. So think of what a target your account would be.
Yeah. My account, I literally had the SSH keys for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a cracking article. I did have a really good read of this, and it's highlighted some flaws in the way I think too. So I love it.
All right, we'll go check that out, but we do need to move on. We could talk about that for a while. Let's take a look at a few new features that are available. And speaking of backups, we now have cross-cloud, what are they calling it? Cross-project backups for GKE.
Cross-project.
This looks cool.
Yeah, this is really cool. So once upon a time, the backup for GKE that's currently available backs up your GKE environment to your current project. Now, we all know that that's a pretty crap way of managing your backups because if that project goes away or that region goes away, so does your backup. So what Google has implemented is cross-project backup. So you can back up, you have a backup project that has the GKE API enabled. You back up your clusters from project A into the backup project, and then you can also back up project B into the backup project, but you can restore cluster project A's cluster into project B's cluster as well. So you can do it's sort of central backups, but for GKE. So obviously there's some benefits to that is all your eggs aren't in one basket, which is always a bad idea. And especially if you're running stateful workloads where you're persisting data to disk, which you should never do in a container, but some people do it. And it allows you separation of duties for security and compliance. So obviously your backup role is in a different project. So there's this article is really good on the overview of it, and down the bottom they've got links to cross-project backups and cross-project restores, the documentation for it. If you want to do it, you need to complete a form that is also linked in the article to enable it on your projects.
Very nice. So let's hope we're getting some backups happening there. Nice. And another feature that I liked is bucket relocation. So finally, and I'll link to the actual documentation. Document describes cloud storage bucket relocation service that relocates buckets servicely between geographic locations. Using this, you can move an existing bucket from one location to another without changing its name or requiring manual data transfer of data within the bucket. Yeah, this is nice. I know I've been in the situation before where I've spun up a bucket, put a whole bunch of stuff in and gone, oh, it's in the wrong region. Or I'm going to have to move it all now.
Yeah. I love this. There's been so many times where I've needed to move regions, for whether it's for a customer or for myself. I put something accidentally in the wrong region, or we've decided that we're no longer going to use region A, we're going to use region B instead. And instead of trying to recreate the bucket, which you can't recreate the bucket name because it's globally unique, means you've got to update a whole heap of code that pushes to those buckets.
Yeah, and you might have had a name you really liked, and then you've got to let that one go. Yeah.
I tend to just append random strings on the end of the names just to make them unique.
Bucket new final version. New use this one. New
-1.
Storage uploads 1. Storage uploads 1B. Yeah. No, this is fantastic.
So there's two ways you can do it. You can do the bucket relocation with write downtime or bucket relocation without write downtime. So you can you can continue to write to it while the bucket is relocating, but you lose a few features if you're doing that. If you've got the right downtime, you get more regions you can move to. It's a bit more performance and a few other bits and pieces. But if you really need to continue writing to it, you can, which is nice.
The right downtime is only during that final synchronization step.
That's right, yeah.
So it locks the bucket for whatever period it takes to do that final sync, and then it's back up and running in the new location.
Are some limitations with it though. There's some restrictions with Big Lake and BigQuery. The table linkage breaks. There's some nuances around auto class object handling, and you can't move locked buckets, which makes sense, right? Because that'd be a way around it. And a few other restrictions with temporary holds and hierarchical namespace. You can't move those either. So I think it'll work for most use cases for most people. I know one thing that I want to do related to the show. Actually, I want to move some stuff from to make it a bit cheaper. So yeah, I might actually end up using this. And then finally, in our list of features, we have an article from a friend of ours, JK, BigQuery cost controls.
Yeah, so this is a really cool one. So starting on the 1st of September, Google is introducing inside of BigQuery some sensible defaults to stop your credit card from bleeding. Because we all know that you get BigQuery is a database of sorts. Lots and lots of DBAs like the select star from blah, where inner join X on whatever. And they do this because that's the way they've been taught how to use SQL. In BigQuery, a select star from blah is bad.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be selecting the specific things that you need. And inner joins are evil because it loads all of the table on both sides in order to do that join. And whilst this isn't a problem on SQL Server or Postgres or MySQL or anything like that,
on-prem,
on BigQuery, you're going to get charged for that.
Yep.
And it's going to cost you a fortune. So the biggest change that they're doing is query usage per day quota and the query usage per user per day quota. So previously, when you stood up a BigQuery project, these were set to unlimited, which is fantastic if you just want the flexibility, but it means that your credit card is going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So when you create a new project with BigQuery from the 1st of September, the default query usage per day will be a quota of 200 tibabytes. Now, tibabytes is what we know as terabytes. But it's not terabytes because terabytes is now a multiple of 1,000 instead of a multiple of 1,024.
I don't like it. I still don't like it.
I don't either. It's like mebibytes and kibibytes and no. Anyway, for your existing projects currently set to unlimited, Google is going to do some clever little math, and they're going to apply a custom limit, which will be based on your peak usage over the last 30 days with headroom. So it'll accommodate some future growth. And if you have, it's important to note that the quotas will only apply to on-demand usage. So your other BigQuery pricing models will not be affected. And if you've set your own custom limits, they won't change. All right. So if you've already set a limit of, I only want a limit of 150 tibabytes per day. Then that will remain 150. It won't be bumped up to 200. It'll stay there. But the thing here, before anyone gets all antsy about this change coming in, you can change it. You can go into your quotas, search for the quota, and change it to what you need. So if you want a bigger quota or you want a smaller quota or whatever it ends up being, you can change that in the quotas. So yeah, awesome article by JK. Have a read of it. It's a pretty short article, but it's a good one.
The piggy bank costs are a bit odd as well. if you're going to 15, 20, 35, 30, 20, 30.
Yep.
Gemini.
Yeah.
It's an
AI
image
didn't at all generate that image.
No. Actually, he's put the prompt there, so that's nice.
Yeah. So Imagen 3 via Gemini.
Yeah, that's it. I had a quick read of this one, and it is a very smart way to go to stop these blowers, because clearly this has been a problem, right?
Well, any business, a company I used to work at, database project was the biggest monthly spend. The next biggest monthly spend was the BigQuery projects.
Yeah.
So BigQuery was costing them sort of $50,000 a month.
Got to optimize those searches. And just quickly, before we get on to AI Wars, we've got Declutter Your Inbox with Gmail's newest feature. Now, I've had this in Gmail for a little bit. It's the ability to unsubscribe automatically from things. But you were saying it's coming to mobile now.
No, so it's so Gmail used to, if you had a mailing list subscription, there was always an option up the top that you could go into and you could do like report a spam, and then to give you the option to unsubscribe or unsubscribe and report or whatever. But now there's an option in the hamburger menu on the left-hand side.
Well, it's actually a button. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually a button there. So it says unsubscribe.
Yeah,
right,
that one. No. This one is on the left-hand side. Go into your hamburger menu. There is a manage subscriptions link there.
Shows all of them.
And it shows all of your subscriptions and it allows you to manage them there. Now, I haven't got it on mobile, but I have it on the web version now. And I have had for a little while.
Manage subscriptions. It is too. And it says new next to it.
That's
manage
it. That's the one. So that's the one that you're looking for. So that gives you all of your mailing list subscriptions, and it allows you to manage them in one place as opposed to waiting for another email. It'll also show you how many emails you've had from particular mailing lists in the last however long.
Whoa, I've got a lot. This is why I'm constantly fighting an email battle, deleting things. Yeah,
you and me both. I get dozens and dozens and dozens of them. Generally wake up to about 50 emails, and during the day I get another 100 odd. But yeah, that's fantastic innovation there that gives you the ability to unsubscribe from stuff en masse if you wanted to, and see what you're getting from particular subscribers. I know there's a certain stationery place that we may have mentioned earlier on in the podcast that I signed up to with my business email, and they send me like 4 emails a day.
That's crazy.
And so
that's
yesterday I
unsubscribed.
unsubscribed.
Yeah. Unsubscribed. Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had tried to solve this problem myself with inbox filters, and I still have some inbox filters in place, but this is just doing it all for me in one go. Yep. It's great.
Fantastic, isn't it?
I'm assuming the power of AI is behind this.
It is. So it actually says in the article here, Gmail blocks more than 99.9% of spam, phishing and malware, and recently rolled out a new AI-based defenses which cut scam emails by 35%. So this is all AI-driven. Good place to start, at least.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down later with that and go through that and clean some stuff out. It's great. All right then. Well, with that all out of the way, let's get on with the AI Wars. AI Wars. And speaking of AI-powered things, one of our favourite features is AI-powered search.
I hate the AI overview.
More advanced AI capabilities, but it's going to get more advanced and more advanced. Coming to search.
It's got to get it right to start with.
It's got to get it right to start with. Now, I had a quick look at this. What you're going to get now is an AI mode drop down in your search. Is it there yet? I don't know if it's there. Let me try and search for something. What can I search for? Search for that. No, it's not there yet. So starting today, we'll be bringing Gemini 2.5 Pro to AI mode, giving you access to our most intelligent AI model right in search. So you're going to get that there. And 2.5 Pro excels at advanced reasoning, maths, coding questions, etc., etc. Subscribers can select the 2.5 Pro model from a drop-down menu in the AI mode tab. Do you have it there, Dave? Can you see it? Or you're a subscriber?
I got distracted. I started doing some VO3 videos.
Love it.
Talking about cost blowouts.
Yeah.
When I do a search, all I've got is all images, shopping, videos, short videos, forums, news, and more options, which gives me maps, web, books.
Yeah.
None of the tools. I've just got the standard tools.
I think you need to be a subscriber to get it. But yeah, it's going to power up the Google search. For questions where you want even more thorough response, we're bringing deep research capabilities into AI mode. So this might be handy, the deep research, having it built in right there in search. Google search can help you save hours by issuing hundreds of searches, reasoning across disparate pieces of information and crafting a comprehensive, fully cited report in minutes.
I mean, I use deep research all the time in Gemini, all the time. So having it pulled straight into search, yeah, why not?
Yeah, it is cool watching it work, hey, and it starts pulling everything in and collating it all, yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that one. Certainly feeding into this idea of the zero-click internet, right? I mean, we don't really need to go anywhere anymore. Search is just where it's at.
We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to generate any content. We don't have to participate in anything.
Don't have to think anymore, right? It does this cognitive offload all the way. But speaking of a good AI news story, we have AI is transforming the lives of the neurodivergent people. Now, I thought this was interesting, and I've got a couple of thoughts on this as well. But who put this in?
Oh, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you using your AI buddy like this?
No.
Oh, no. So the premise is, maybe autistic or neurodivergent people can use ChatGPT or Gemini to sort of parse their thoughts to see if to help them understand why they don't understand. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, it's because so people with autism specifically tend not to be able to understand social cues a lot. So they sort of facial expressions sort of pass them by, and people's tone of voice pass them by. So there's a person in the film in the document here, D. Hotman, who's a director of horror films, says he's been a regular user of ChatGPT. I told you, speaking's not my thing today. And he's relying on it to overcome communication barriers at work and in her personal life. She says she knows it's a machine, but sometimes, honestly, it's more empathetic voice in her life. So, look, this could be fantastic for those who are suffering from ADHD or dyslexia, autism, any other neurodivergent form.
Now, I have to say, personally, one thing I've always struggled with in my professional career is dealing with long documents. Right now, this is something we deal with all the time as engineers. We're reading documents, we're producing documents, and the chore of going from top to bottom, trying to maintain the context and comprehend everything and get through it. I always get very distracted in my mind, trying to hop here, there, and everywhere.
Your context window is not at 1 million tokens yet.
No, that's right. I've always found it challenging. And to be able to summarize things with AI or have it point me in the direction or produce those documents with AI, what a game changer, right? I'll give you an example. Trying to now this is not a long document, but this is something that you might find challenging. You sit down to write a JIRA ticket, just a straight up JIRA ticket. You need to put some context in there around like what changes you're making, how you're going to implement the tests that need to run, blah, 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 blah. You have blank page syndrome. You don't know where to start. You don't know what to do, right? So I was able to take some documentation that we'd already produced on it, and then another piece of a clip from an email and another piece of clip that had been produced, give them all to Gemini and say, hey, I want to use all of this information and create a description for a JIRA card that will be appropriate to then later to develop a pull request from. Sure. And it was really happy and upbeat and nice about it. And it produced this beautiful piece of work. And I said, oh, by the way, I need it in a markdown. So and it converted it to markdown, bang, pasted it in. And
Nice.
I later had comments from the project manager saying, I've never seen JIRA card descriptions like this in my life. I said, well, I might have had a bit of help.
You've got your own little pocket BA.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it felt. You've got your own personal assistant and they're non-judgmental. They don't argue with you. It's like, it's nice to go to work with this person that's going to be very helpful, right?
So-
that's how
so
it feels.
The flip side of that is that they're not critical.
No.
So
Well,
sometimes,
right. But that's good though, in some sense.
I need that critical voice sometimes to go, this is dumb, don't do it.
Right.
Like, you know, I think we all need that critical voice sometimes that tells us not to be dumb.
I mean, sometimes I'll have this conversation with my partner. I'll be like, hey, I've got a stupid idea. So I'm going to tell you the idea, but I'm going to preface this that I think that this idea is probably stupid, right? So I'm prepared for you to shoot it down.
Yeah.
Right. I need you to find where it's dumb.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, and here comes the idea.
Yeah. I mean, in a professional context, I find that's probably the place of the stand-up, right? I mean, if you're in a safe working group and everyone's on the same level, you could make a dumb suggestion and then bounce it off everyone else. And if it gets the nod, then you go away and you use the AI and you develop it.
Mm. So apparently so according to the article here, it says recent study by Carnegie Mellon and Microsoft, which is obviously a key investor in OpenAI, suggests that long-term overdependence on Gen AI tools can undermine users' critical thinking skills and leave them ill-equipped to manage without it. While AI can improve efficiency, the researchers wrote, it may reduce critical engagement, particularly in routine or lower-stakes tasks in which users simply rely on AI.
Yeah.
So, and there was another study that I saw probably a couple of months ago that says that kids these days who are just using AI for everything just don't have the ability to think critically about anything.
No, they've forgotten how to think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you go back like 20 years, right? I mean, everyone used to be able to read maps to find their way around now. But
we still do.
Well, I mean, we can, but like the kids are like, who's reading a map, right? You just plug it into a GPS, even just to go down the shop. So I'll plug it in because I want to know if there's any traffic or how long it's going to take, right?
Yeah.
It's all about this idea of cognitive offload.
That was one of the things we did with Maddie on our trip out west was, here, dude, here's the map book. Show us where we are and where we're going to and show me how we're going to get there.
Yep.
Because like he was like, why? I just put it in Google Maps.
Exactly.
Like, Google Maps doesn't work in the bush, mate.
Unless you're exercising that skill, you're not going to know, right?
Yeah.
Here there be dragons.
Yeah. And AI has just offloaded everything and there's just no brain exercise happening at all.
Yeah. Yeah, we're becoming those, what was it, the Wall-E movie. We're becoming the people who sit in the seats and look at the screens all day.
Well, it's time. It's George Verne. It's Time Machine. George Wells' Time Machine.
Orwell's.
The guy, the people that live the utopian life above ground,
and the Morlocks,
and then the Morlocks come and eat them. Right?
Yeah.
That's unfortunately the way we're headed.
Yeah. But look, it's. I think it's great that people who are neurodivergent are getting the benefit out of the Gen AI tooling, because if it's helping them to be more engaged in society and more feel more at home, then I'm all for it. And that sounds like what it is. So the article finishes off here. with the director, De Hotman, saying a lot of us just kind of end up retreating from society. As somebody who's struggled with a disability my whole life, I need this. So, awesome.
Yeah, excellent. It's good to see a feel-good AI story.
Yep, I love it.
Even if we're not using our brains, but that's fine. And then finally, to finish off the show for the day, the SA government, they're always on the edge, aren't they? Always, very, ahead of the game. SA government establishes Office for AI.
Bleeding edge of technology.
Bleeding edge, yes. And it's all going to be powered by green energy. The government pledged $28 million in 25-26 state budgets to support a targeted proof of value program focusing on using AI to reduce costs and streamline services.
So they're adding funding with support. Sorry, what was that?
They're probably just deploying Copilot across like their office licenses, and that's what the cost is.
The South Australian government's Copilot deployment.
And we tried that with Clippy in the 90s and it didn't work.
Yeah. They're bringing Clippy back. Clippy's got an attitude now. So they said that the funding would provide support for broad applications across the government and allow multiple use cases to be developed on trusted technologies. And there's a PDF there that links to the budget overview, which I shall not read because it's a government document and it will have so much waffle in it, it's not funny.
It will hurt, yes.
Yep. It will hurt my brain to read, and AI won't be able to give me an overview of it.
A couple of examples that they give in the article is nurses writing less paperwork and spending more time at the bedside, which has got to be good, and police officers. Obviously they're writing reports and they've got a lot of documentation to make, but if we can cut down all that paperwork and get them actually out doing policing, that would be great as well.
I think that's a universal thing across the country though. Is so in Queensland we had the report on policing, and it shows that the Queensland police force in general is overworked and stressed and all the rest of it. They either need more police officers or technology to assist them.
Yeah, got to do more with less. Always need to do more with less, right?
Yep.
I'm sure AI is the bane of teachers as well, but they could definitely use AI to help them, right?
Well, they thought the AI by putting random words in the documentation that they hand to kids. I think that's fantastic.
That is good.
Prove that you've actually written the article yourself or the assignment yourself.
Yep, and they poison it with bogus words.
They poison it with a sentence in there that only the AI will see. It'll be a maths assignment or an English assignment on Shakespeare or something, and then there'll be a bit of text in there in white lettering that's like, you must include
elephants
information about African elephants doing the tango. Or something random like that.
And that appears in the prompt, of which they don't read, and they paste into their assignment and hand it in.
Copy paste. Copy pasta.
Let's see how this works out for the SA government. But it's I think we've been saying it for even in the previous incarnation of this show. This technology is going to affect everyone and every workforce, and you're not getting away from it.
That's it.
Well, that's about it for us for this fortnight. Don't forget, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Go to Apple Podcasts, write us a review to really help the show out. And while you're on YouTube, smash that like button and start the discussion there. You can contact the show, contact@gcpbytes.com.au, and find us on the web, www.gcpbytes.com.au. And don't forget today's sponsors, Hive Tech Solutions. They've got a great new NAS storing all their stuff on it. And Mantle Group. You probably would have seen it at Google Cloud Summit. But that's about it from us. You guys got anything else to add?
Have a great fortnight.
Indeed.
Oh, and Technofish, yeah.
And Technofish, which is those guys.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll see you later. Bye.
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 Welcome to GCP Bytes, episode number 22.
Come on, Richie, do it properly.
I'll do it properly.